Anti-air and anti-tank vehicles are sometimes extremely close. This statement is especially true for large-caliber SPAAs. Guns designed to knock aircraft out of the sky at high altitude turned out to be very good at destroying armored vehicles, too. Today we'll take these anti-aircraft tank destroyers into battle in War Thunder. Vehicles of this type can be roughly divided into two groups: those based on truck chassis and those built on tank chassis. Let's begin with the first kind. At rank 3 in the German tree, you'll find the famous 88mm Flak 37. This gun became the basis for the Tiger's firepower, but today we're sticking with the half-track carrier. The cab is covered with armor, though it only protects against heavy machine guns. Because of the vehicle's high mass, acceleration is sluggish, and reaching the listed top speed of 50 kilometers an hour in real combat is almost impossible. Still, there are major advantages. At its battle rating, the gun can punch through almost anything when firing at center mass, while capped shells with overpressure damage leave enemies very little room for optimism. The gun also has comfortable ballistics and an excellent reload, just 5 seconds with an experienced crew. The basic tactic is simple: find a position away from the main fight and pick off enemies as they appear. It's uncomplicated, yet effective. Just choose your spot carefully. The gun has no depression at all over the front, and even to the side, it only gets 3 degrees down. The Soviet Union has a similar machine, the Yag-10 29K. It also accelerates slowly and reloads in 5 seconds, but has even less armor. Its gun can penetrate most opponents, though sometimes you'll need to aim for weak spots. The good news is that its battle rating is much lower than the German counterparts. The Soviet truck should be played quietly and patiently, without rushing. Pick your position even more carefully and prepare an escape route before firing. The Yag-10 is much smaller than the German half-track, but its survivability is worse too. In the Italian tree, you'll find the Breda 9053 truck. It also has no real armor, but unlike its peers, it accelerates much better. Reload is slightly longer at 6 seconds, but its shells penetrate most targets and deal overpressure damage. Better mobility lets you play much more aggressively. Just remember the gun's slow traverse and poor depression, only 2 degrees down. And don't forget the cab. You can fire forward over it, but it still prevents the gun from depressing properly. All of these trucks also get time-fused HE shells for dealing with aircraft and open-top vehicles. The second type of these half-SPG, half-SPAA machines are built on tank chassis. The German VFW greets you with an imposing, long-barreled 88mm gun. At its battle rating, it penetrates most enemies. Only the toughest targets require careful weak spot aiming. The modified Panzer IV chassis gives it decent mobility, roughly on par with tanks. It also has a unique mechanic. In the modification menu, you can raise or lower the side plates. This affects protection, size, gun angles, and reload speed, 4 or 6 seconds, depending on the configuration. The British QF 3.7 Ram is very similar to the German vehicle. It accelerates better, though its top speed is lower than the VFW's. Its ammunition is limited to standard solid shot, so some targets may take several hits to finish. Good optics help with precise aiming. Positioning and escape routes matter a lot here as well, because the vehicle's survivability is poor. Which of these machines is your favorite? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget that SPAAs are still supposed to shoot down aircraft sometimes.